It was the first time the father and son had worked an armored transport job together. Not long after they hit the road, Nick spotted a black van in the rearview mirror. The van was closing in fast. It rammed the armored truck and made it swerve across the road. The truck nearly spun out of control, but the van did not back off. It pulled alongside them and kept slamming into the truck. The two of them were confused. They had run into a group of robbers. Nick told his son Casey to call for backup. Casey grabbed the radio and kept calling for help, but no one answered. Nick realized the signal was being jammed. They had lost contact with headquarters. Now they had to rely on themselves. A high-speed chase broke out on the highway. The armored truck was built to take heavy hits, so the collisions did little damage. But they knew they could not keep this up forever. Nick suddenly jerked the steering wheel. He smashed through the guardrail and drove onto a bridge. They thought they had escaped, but another black vehicle was waiting in the middle of the bridge. It blocked their path completely. The two vehicles were working together. Nick slammed on the brakes. Armed men stepped out of the vehicle ahead. They looked heavily equipped and dangerous. Nick immediately threw the truck into reverse. The robbers were in no hurry when they saw him backing up. The armored truck slowly rolled backward, while the robbers steadily closed in. Then the other black van appeared behind them again. The armored truck was trapped from both sides. Luke stepped out with his crew. They opened fire on the armored truck. But the bullets could not penetrate its thick armor. One of the robbers brought out a grenade launcher. He fired a round at the truck. The blast flipped the entire vehicle over. The father and son were left dazed by the impact. They had to find cover immediately. They pushed open the door and climbed onto the overturned truck. Luke spotted them right away. A hail of bullets flew toward them. They had no choice but to dive off the side to avoid the gunfire. Now, they were trapped from both directions. Even in this situation, Nick stayed remarkably calm. He told his son to fight back. As soon as the robbers started reloading, the instant their guns ran empty. Casey fired and hit one of the robbers. He barely had time to celebrate. Before a bullet struck his leg, Nick did not stop to check on him. He kept returning fire and took down two robbers who were moving closer. Luke also advanced toward the armored truck. Nick helped his wounded son move back. While firing at the attackers, they climbed into the cargo compartment through the rear door, then locked it from the inside. Because the truck's armor was so thick, they were safe for the moment. Casey had been shot in the leg. Nick checked the wound and saw the bullet had passed through. He found a zip tie and used it to stop the bleeding. Outside, Luke was furious. He refused to walk away from the job. He walked to the front of the truck, wanting to negotiate with the father and son. He told them to open the door and hand over whatever was inside. If they did, he would let them live. Nick gave him no response. He still had no idea what they had been assigned to transport. That could make these robbers risk everything. So he unlocked the safe to take a look. The first two cases were filled with cash. Then he opened the third case. It was packed with gold bars, along with a pile of gold coins worth millions of dollars. The robbers must have known the gold was inside. But how had they gotten that information? While Nick was trying to figure it out, a strange sound came from outside. Luke had run out of patience. He threw tear gas around the armored truck, planning to smoke the father and son out.